Hold on, stop. Welcome back to the Shit Show 2.0.
Okay, Boomer.
Damn millennials. Wow.
Did not know that. Even flirters who are obviously mentally ill.
Oh, this is gonna go downhill real quick.
What is going on? And welcome to Take on the World with
Yours truly, Johnny Boy.
John Johansson, Bag of Donuts, and Mike D.
Welcome to the avalanche of shit called 2021. There's been a lot going on.
Well, today's first day of spring. Did you know that?
Dude, it was a beautiful drive coming over here. I'm going to tell you. I could have spent the whole day driving around. And it was just cool enough outside. You're riding with your windows down, sun's beaming, driving through the mountains. Gorgeous.
Love those days. Love those days. I guess it's supposed to be nice, like through Wednesday or Thursday.
Good.
Nice and dry, no rain.
I'll take it.
No snow, pray God.
I don't mind the rain, but excuse me, today was just, I should have got out early. This is what makes me wish I had a fucking motorcycle.
Oh, too cold for a motorcycle today.
Yeah, I know, but I can only imagine when it's nice out, the feeling that I get driving around. Dude, my mic is all, I don't like where my mic's going here. It's getting all weird on me.
Tilt it out.
No, give it a tilt out. Give it a little tilt out, like do your weenish at the end of the night. So anyways, yeah, busy week.
This week sucked.
Yeah, this week did suck. We had to bury a loved one, but as we all know, we are not immortal.
No.
But you know, I do take for granted this time we have on this earth, and you know, yeah, God, I don't even know what to look. I'm trying to sound all poetic, and I can't.
So, Take on the World has ventured out into some beer reviews. And
now, wait, are the beer reviews only on YouTube?
Only on YouTube.
All right, my buddy was asking me where you could find them.
You know, and searching for us on YouTube is like
Impossible.
It's like pulling teeth, dude. You have to put like Take on the World, podcast, beer review, Shiner beer. Because that was one of the beer reviews that was up. And then we'll be up in like the top 3. But like, it's just ridiculous. Until you get enough followers that you can make your like a unique name. Because right now it's just a bunch of numbers behind our gimmick.
Yeah, it's weird. I don't understand how that whole thing works.
Anyway, we branched out into some beer reviews. We're enjoying doing those. We're having a good time with that. And
yeah, those are fun. They're short. You know, you get to drink beer.
Yeah, always a good thing.
And then, so we're gonna try and branch out further. I would like to do some knife reviews, or knife and gear reviews, I should say. So you see, we got a couple of knives there. That's gonna be in the future. So we'll kind of see how those go.
Yeah, this is a picture of things to come.
Picture of things to come. And, you know, hopefully me and Mike get drawn for our elk tag so we can go out west. Out west. Just west.
And we'll do at least one podcast in the Denver airport and do the Denver airport conspiracy.
Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah.
And we are going to attempt, after our 5-mile hike to our campsite, to do a recorded podcast in the middle of the Colorado wilderness on the Rocky Mountains.
Yo, we should do it from the Yeti structure if it's still there.
You said it's like 18 miles from where we're going to be.
No, it's not. It's 5 miles.
So if you take a picture of Colorado, and John showed us where we'll be hunting, the area will be hunting, because you have to pick an area when you go out there. And he showed me the area where we'll be camping. And he's like, this trail here. It's like 5-mile hike back to the campsite. And I'm like, wow, that's, you really can't feel it from the thing. So I'm like, well, there's a key down at the bottom. So I measured the 200 yards or 100 yards with a tape measure.
Yeah.
And I'm on the screen going back and forth. I'm like, dude, that's like a mile. Well, it felt like 5 miles.
Then we read the comments, and the guy's like, "Wow, nice brisk 1 mile walk." I'm like, "Yeah, motherfucker." I don't know. For some reason, I thought it was 5 miles. It feels like fucking 10 miles. I don't know. So
anyway,
it's a good walk.
Looking forward to that. We put in for our tags, and I hope we get picked.
Yeah, I don't want to.
If not, I said we should go out for a small game because we had to buy a small game license in Colorado.
I think regardless, I'm still going out. I don't care. I just need to get away.
Maybe I'll you. Yeah. If you don't mind. We'll just go walk around the woods. Let people shoot arrows at us.
I mean, we can still fish. Got a fishing
That's right.
license.
The fishing license comes with that too. So,
and
I'd walk a mile up there to camp and fish in that lake.
I think that was our plan. Was if we didn't get drawn for a tag, we'll just go fishing.
And then I just have to buy a thing for my regular fishing rod instead of getting a collapsible.
Yeah, I don't know if fly fishing or whatever. I don't know, but I think we stand a really good chance of getting drawn. So just keep your fingers crossed.
They're crossed. So anyway,
big plans for the future. Big shakeup in the future.
Big shakeups coming.
So, anyways, I don't know. Could you see all this shit in here?
I don't know if you could see that because I don't know.
We got all kinds of crap laying on. We got pickles laying on the fucking table over here.
Yeah. Somebody wants to do a beer tasting with pickles in our beer.
I got to do it.
The thing is you got to stop watching the internet, bro.
No, everything that's on the internet's true.
But yeah, except for pickles in your beer because that's stupid.
Of course, the girl that was doing it was hot as shit. So I had to
you had to watch it.
I had to.
Boobies and pickles. Anyway.
So what do we got going on today?
This week's topic is, drumroll, Hollywood sucks.
We sure do.
I mean,
we mean in terms of their movie productions lately. Right? Well, I mean, I guess in general. Fucking Hollywood, bunch of yuppie bastards.
Yeah, there's no originality anymore.
So, what this episode came from was me and Mike. Mike's more of a movie buff than I am. You know, I know a lot of movies, but I'm retarded, and I can't tell you what the names are or what they're about.
Or who's in them. Or what country they're filmed in.
But I know a good movie when I see one. And years ago, when I first met Mike, he's like, "Oh, I don't like remakes." And I'm like, "Really?" I'm like, "I think they're kind of cool." And then so over the years of watching, I'm like, "Yeah, you're right. Like the remakes suck." And so we were just talking to one day from being movie buffs that Hollywood really hasn't produced anything good.
Nothing original.
Nothing original since what? When would you say? Maybe the
1937.
1937. When they weren't even around.
What? Like I look at like,
but so you have the horror genre was fucking great,
right?
So now we're left in like, what do you do with the horror genre? There's
the horror movies coming out now are either just about blood and guts, which the movies of my era were not, or they're more suspense than they are horror.
Yeah.
And none of them leave anything to the imagination because graphics are what they are now. You know, it was hard to show, back in the 60s, it was hard to show a slasher film with someone getting cut up and slashed. And, you had Psycho and you didn't see anything. You saw some blood splash on a shower curtain and some cool music. And you saw the shadow of the knife going up and down.
Yeah.
But that was scary. That's what scared people. it left something to your imagination. Well, with the advent of CGI and everything else, it leaves nothing to your imagination.
I think it's just, have we seen it all? Like, where as movie buffs, how do we advance into shit it's gonna woo us? And because that's what I said. I watch a movie and you're like, I can't believe I just wasted an hour and a half on that. Not like I would go to the movie theater to see it, or I'm talking about it, I've watched it 5 times. Like most of the shit I've seen on Netflix or this and that, you think they'll hype it all up on previews and shit.
Well, the previews are meant they just show the best parts of the movie.
Yeah, and that's it. And then you're left like, what the fuck? I'm like, that was stupid.
What I like is movies that don't show the best parts of the movie in the preview, and when you get there, it's like, wow. And I love going to the theater and watching movies, but to spend $12, $15 for a ticket to go see a movie that is just a remake of an old movie that remade another movie.
Yeah. Where's the originality?
If you're, and I have some information that I had looked up on why they make movies that way monetarily, and we could go over that then. But sometimes a smaller budget movie, like the movie Super Troopers.
I love it.
Super Troopers is a stupid movie. I love it. Do you know why? The first 5 minutes of that movie, I don't think I've ever laughed harder in my life. And I laugh every time I watch the first 5 minutes of that movie.
I think...
and you know what the budget for that movie was?
No idea.
I don't either, but it wasn't a lot. It was a low budget film.
I think comedies are kind of... they're hard to fall into this category because, but you can make a comedy about anything. And if it's funny, it's funny. But, when you're expecting like a psychological thriller and it's not, or a horror movie and it's not, it doesn't get you like to jump at least once or twice during the movie. I can tell.
There's not a whole lot of movies that make me jump.
No.
Particularly because it's not easy to make all this jump.
Oh damn! What I was going to say. Anyways, go ahead, continue.
Well, the show. Remember the show Reno 911?
Yeah.
So the creators of that show, Robert Grant and Thomas Lennon, they created Reno 911, which I never really watched. I didn't. It's the kind of humor on TV that I like. It was like Super Troopers.
Yeah.
On TV. So it.
Well, was that before Super Troopers?
No.
No, I don't think it was.
No. And they actually wrote a book called Movies for Fun and Profit. And in his book, they explained why most Hollywood movies suck donkey balls. And that's a quote from the book. But what they said in the thing was the executives were morons. So you would pitch a show or a book to a movie theater or to a movie production company, and you'd have one executive who would approve your script, and then they sit there and they tell you, well, this is what's selling now, so we need this in the movie, and we need this in the movie, and this movie, and then so they went back and they'd rewrite their stuff. What movie were they doing?
You know what this sounds like? This sounds like pre-Facebook cookie shit. Like cookies, like will follow you. Bear with me. I'm a little technologically stupid on this one, but you know how like you're looking on something online, then you log on to Facebook and it's like, oh, everything pops up like, oh, you've been searching this pair of shoes, so you'll have like 8 different companies throwing you ads for shoes, and it's just to make your viewing experience better. Like, we follow you, we know what you like, and so we're gonna like throw shit at you that.
Well, I was just watching a movie about that on Netflix.
Yeah, it was that was a documentary.
Yeah,
I watched it too. I can't remember the name of it.
I can't either, but it really went through and made you think about the way you use the internet.
Yeah, but that's what this makes me feel like. Like, oh, we're not getting enough hits or views, or people aren't laughing hard enough, so we're going to change our material to what the majority likes, or
well, they would say that they use this analogy where you have a Volkswagen Bug, you sell it to someone, and he says, deliver it in 8 weeks, make it pink. People like pink, and then
especially the people in Saipan.
And then that person says, we bought a Bug, but all the other studios are buying SUVs this year, so let's make it a big SUV. So then you got to write, the story about an SUV, and they say, well, I know we bought an SUV, but I was reading an article about boats today, and how popular they are this year. So that kind of like just make it a boat. And then they'll say, like, Terminator made lots of money, so let's make it a Terminator boat, and then make it green. And the person you bring it back to the person who bought the pink Bug and say, what the hell is this green Terminator boat?
Okay, I'm just gonna go right out right now. Say I have no idea what the fuck you just said, or what the hell you're talking about.
Well, that's the point. So you sell one movie, and then you have someone in the studio saying, well, the movie needs to have this in it. And then you change it to have that.
Trying to appease people.
And then you go back in a circle to the original person who you sold the original movie to, and it's not the movie he bought, but it's the movie that everybody, the studio is saying that's what you need to make.
So we'll take Terminator. In my experience, I grew up. When the fuck year did that come out? 80 whatever. So I was probably way too young to watch it, but the first time I watched it, I was a little kid. I didn't know my ass from my elbow. So long story short, about 2 years ago, I think I found that on YouTube, and I could watch it with like a couple ads in it. And I forgot, Terminator 1 is a really good movie.
Yeah.
It's a fucking awesome concept, like original, like, well, I don't know how, I don't think anything was like that, but I'm sure people thought of like robots trying to take over. You know, that if you want to break it down to that.
Well, when Scott finally comes up and joins us, we'll be talking about AI.
Yeah, I got a whole thing on AI.
And my research on AI includes the movie adaptations of artificial intelligence, which includes Terminator, and stuff behind it.
So for
another
folks
shot into the future for you.
If folks who are, of the genre that, grew up with that movie, like, yeah, the animation was not the best. It was a little choppy when the Terminator was like, it wasn't in the flesh. But man, was that a good fucking movie? It couldn't have been that much to make. It was a couple explosives here, maybe like one or two.
Now, you'd be surprised at how expensive that movie was.
And then you get to Terminator 2, which I'm going to say I love Terminator 2. That was made in the 90s, and I will never forget that movie. Then you get to 3. But after 2, it's like, okay, it's the same fucking story. Now, have you seen the latest Terminator?
Yes.
It's stupid.
It's not great, but
it's the same shit. It's the same concept. It's like, we're just going to literally, like, take Terminator 2, but use different characters. And then, I'm not going to lie, there was one really funny part where Arnie's, I guess he's living in Mexico or somewhere in Southern California, and he's like a fucking homemaker or something.
Yeah.
And he runs like a cleaning business, but he did a good job with that bit. It was funny. But like I said, comedy's comedy. I think it's comedy's in its own genre. Like, it's in its own thing. But yeah, like, it's shit like that. Like, do we really need to? And they're probably gonna make another Terminator. Do we really need to? Like make it different.
They make what sells, and the concept behind Terminator is
just crank them out, make it sell.
The concept was you send someone back in time to alter history.
Yeah.
And in return, the good guys send someone back in time to stop him from altering history.
Yeah.
And that's kind of, that story is going to continue to play through that, because that's the concept behind the movie.
Right.
But
we don't need 6 of them, though.
Even with that, everything else in Hollywood is either a reboot, a remake, or a reimagination of another film. I take the Batman series.
Yeah.
You go back to not the original TV Batman because it was more comic booky. You go back to the Batman where they had Danny DeVito as the Penguin.
Yep.
And they had Arnold Schwarzenegger as Dr. Freeze.
Mr. Freeze.
He was Doctor, wasn't he? I think we went through this once before.
Mr. Freeze.
I thought he was Doctor. He was a doctor. He was trying to revive his wife.
Okay,
anyway,
sure.
Freeze.
Anyways.
So you go back to that, and was that a great movie? No.
It's terrible.
But for someone like me who's a comic book junkie, I enjoyed those movies.
Yeah, I just think
so then they redid it as if those never happened.
I want new. I want something different. Like just growing up from the 80s till now, it seems like there's always the same. And I guess that goes to what the Greeks had. They said there was like 23 plots, something like that.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that.
And you got to look it up because I can't remember it. I sound like a fucking idiot when I'm trying to say it, but there's basically like 15 or 20 plots to all plays or movies. Well, they didn't have movies back then, but it was all plays. And you know, eventually everything's going to repeat itself, I guess is what I'm trying to say. But I don't know. Like there's a couple movies that I've liked, like Fury. That was a great movie. But you're just telling a story. You're just telling a war story. You're telling something that happened.
36.
All right, 36.
They said there's 36 dramatic situations.
Yeah, like that
are possible.
The love plot, the revenge.
So when you're thinking of it that way, I could see, okay. But even if you use the same plot, the plot base, over and over, you can still make new movies.
Yeah. Like I've always bitched about American movies now because what you get is like, it's the same shit. It's like,
well, there's a reason for this.
You have a hero, a lot of explosions, it's really exciting, and then this dude saves everybody.
And the story sucks.
And the storyline sucks.
Okay, and here's why. This is broken down by I don't know who did this, but I looked this up, and they said that most studio agreements with theaters, the movie needs to double its cost to break even. So with marketing and filming and everything.
Yeah, because they spend so much money on fucking pyrotechnics.
With everything. If you spend whatever you spend on a movie, you have to double its cost just to break even. And after that, then people start making money. So if a film were to cost $200 million and the marketing for that film costs us $175 million, the total cost is $375 million. Just to stay out of the red, you have to gross $750 million. So take Iron Man 3, which when this article that I got this from had just come out.
See, that shit don't. Iron Man, all that fucking shit. That doesn't. But I could care less.
We're looking at a high grossing film.
I know.
So Iron Man 3 made $1.2 billion worldwide. As a general rule, they say that 70% of that money is going to be made outside the United States. So 30% was made inside the United States. For Iron Man, that's $394 million. So if Hollywood just made movies for Americans, they would lose money on every film. So now you take a movie that was a $20 million budget, and the studio would spend $50 million to market it and advertise it. The movie needs to make $140 million just to be in the black. And that's, for a $20 million movie, that's a big ask. Unless you have excellent writing, awesome actors, and then are you really getting a $20 million movie because you're paying the actors so much money to do these movies?
Yeah.
So studios look at these numbers, and they would rather take a huge risk on 2 or 3 huge budget films that are going to give them high returns worldwide than a smaller budget film that might give them high returns in the United States, but doesn't have the interest worldwide because they say films that do well overseas are action films, sci-fi films with very little dialogue and lots of special effects.
Yeah, see, how many times have you watched a Hollywood movie and you've guessed it in like 20 seconds? Like, I know exactly how this is going to play out. I'm going to sit here and eat my popcorn and watch the whole thing.
It's like watching a Hallmark film, dude.
Yeah.
It's
like fucking
Hallmark. What's going to happen?
Hallmark fucking Hollywood. And, it just, come on, you guys got millions of fucking dollars. Like, Jesus Christ, we just spent a fucking rover to Mars. And, by the way, did you hear that?
Mars is flat?
No. Well, now it's funny because all the flat earthers, the flirters, are saying that NASA's feeding you cartoons and lies because you can't
you can't stand it while they're taking a picture?
No, you can't land something there with a parachute because they don't have an atmosphere. And that's how the NASA claims they landed their rover was over the parachute. Yeah, I just think, I'm like, that's probably...
Well, it's an atmosphere. It's just the same as ours.
Right, and I'm thinking, I'm like, it's probably more than just a fucking parachute.
That's another show.
Yeah, don't get us started. We had to delete that one.
Yeah, we got belligerent and just mean.
Yeah, like, so we can guess fucking movies and... Or, here's the other thing that pisses me off, is the fucking ending. Well, who taught these guys how to end movies? You can't just stop. Like, make it like... Ugh. So you want to keep watching it. It's just like, we don't know how to end this, so just turn the camera off. It's okay.
I look at movies like, and I know it's not the best example because they're not great movies, but to me they're awesome movies because they have a special place in my heart. Friday the 13th movies.
Yeah.
You would always have that inkling at the end that something more was coming.
Yeah.
And that was a good way to end the movie. Even like with some of the movies that they did that with, and nothing ever came after because they just didn't make the movie again.
Right.
I like that. But is Friday the 13th enough? Yeah. Probably,
right, yeah.
Probably.
Jason in Space.
Well, Jason in Space was horrible. Like, I think everybody in the Jason verse will say Jason in Space and Jason Takes Manhattan.
Or how about Jason versus Freddy?
I liked it. Sorry.
Really?
Yes. Because of the Jason and Freddy fan.
Then again, was that more comical?
Yes.
So I said comedy is always going to be funny.
Well, see, going back to our horror discussion,
you don't look at comedy and say, "Oh, I've heard that before," or it just makes you laugh. You know what I mean?
Going back to our horror movie podcast that we did, I have always said that Nightmare on Elm Street, Freddy, was horror comedy. Always was. When he popped out those needles on his instead of the blades, and he shoved them into girls' arms, and said, "What a rush!" That's funny. That's some funny stuff right there.
Yeah, but not when you're like 9 watching it.
Oh yeah,
it's hard.
Well, I wasn't 9 when I was watching. You gotta think
exactly.
That.
That's what I'm saying.
I
was.
I was 14 when I was watching that. But to me, that was hilarious. Like you hit behind your mom's leg and killed yourself.
Like comedy's always, like, how many times can you watch a guy get hit with a pie in the face? Like every fucking time.
Oh yeah.
Because it's different. You know what I mean? But how many times can I watch like a fucking big truck blow up and it's like, give me more popcorn for $18.
So, talking about remakes, just in the last since 2018 through 2021 or 22, these are movies that are upcoming that have been already made once at least. Some of them have been made twice, and they're going to remake them.
Okay, so let me stop you there. Like, I'm sure a million movies have been made about the D-Day invasion. But when you look at Spielberg's and just what he did, like, wow. Like, that was like, I swear to God, I had war syndrome after watching that movie. And it's just so...
I'm not saying all remakes are horrible.
No, I get... But some remakes do deserve, a shout-out.
If you're making a movie about the D-Day invasion, make an original movie about the D-Day invasion. And I know...
But how can you?
When I say original...
It's a storyline that has to be told. You can't deviate.
Right, but you can personalize it. Saving Private Ryan.
Okay.
Okay, so Saving Private Ryan was a World War II movie,
Mm-hmm.
broadly based on World War II. So they can make it World War II accurate, but the story itself was going to find this guy and get him out of there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like All Quiet in the Western Front, World War I movie, originally done in 1930, was made a made-for-TV movie in 1979. They're redoing that coming up. It's supposed to be done for next year.
Okay.
So why are you remaking All Quiet on the Western Front? Why don't you make another movie that may be similar in storyline, but make it your own movie?
Right, I agree.
Like,
yeah. Like I
put your twist on it.
You could think of a million different fucking things. Like if you are truly a World War One buff, which I would assume you kind of are, if you're going to make a fucking movie about it.
Pet Cemetery.
Yeah.
1989. It was made in 1989. They redid it last year. Was the remake good? No, I didn't. I did not like it.
It sucked.
But
like, stop, Hollywood. If you're listening, stop making fucking remakes.
I will tell you that the 1989 version was
creepy.
What me and Deb watched when we were dating.
Yeah. See, I was a kid when I watched that.
I was a kid, but I wasn't a child.
When
like
that kid sliced the Achilles tendon.
So they're remaking The Crow.
No.
The 1994 Brandon Lee movie, killed during the filming.
Why?
I don't know.
Why?
American Werewolf in London.
You know what?
It's in production now.
Sorry.
It was made in 81.
I'm sorry, Crow fans. I know you're fanatics. Because my dear buddy's a fanatic. I didn't get into the Crow movie. It was dark, and I don't know.
I like the Crow. Sorry. Look at that one.
Who's gonna wait? Whoa,
they're remaking Dirty Dancing.
Who's gonna be?
I don't know who Baby's gonna be. But
nobody puts Baby in a corner.
Now, in '87, when they made it, they went on the big thing in the '60s was to go to your lake house for vacation. They had these resorts on lakes. They went to these lakes for vacation, and that's what it was based on.
Yeah.
This one, someone's flying to Peru for vacation.
Oh, God.
To meet an alpaca farmer.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
So they're trying to make it relevant in today.
Yeah, no.
But
don't.
Just make another movie, not called Dirty Dancing.
Right. Yeah.
The Fletch movies.
Drop Dead Fred. Come on, man. That was my... I love that movie.
It's in production now.
Oh, wait, I gotta text my sister that. She's gonna be, shut the fuck up. But why? How can you make... It's not like it... You can't make that movie. Do not ruin my childhood by remaking
That's
that
what I'm saying.
movie.
Like, even when the movies were not good, you're fucking up my childhood, man.
Yeah. That's how I feel about it now.
When I was a kid and watched those movies, I looked at that movie like, oh my God, that's so...
Okay, so...
Because I'm looking at it through the eyes of a 10-year-old or a 12-year-old.
Right, yeah.
And now you're going to force me to look at it, and they're not going to make it for the kids.
No.
They're going to make it an adult movie.
Yeah. So, Footloose, big one. I remember Footloose as a kid. Kevin Bacon, I don't know what fucking names.
We just watched it the end of it last night. Deb has never seen the full movie.
Did you see the new one?
No, I refuse. I refuse to watch it.
I should have, but me and my sister watched it, and I posted. They made it modern, so they were what the hell? They were cronking. You fucking cronk juice.
No.
Yes. Yeah. So I posted.
I just threw my neck out.
I posted on Facebook. I said, "Just watch the remake of Footloose. I'm about to cronk my way into a noose." And just hang up because it was fucking horrible. It was stupid. I don't get. Maybe I'm getting old, but I don't get your stupid little.
Look at these next two.
Yeah, wait. No. Starship Troopers? Are you kidding me?
I love Starship Troopers.
Yes, I did too.
Why remake it?
The only reason, what I used to think before was, okay, you'll remake, and this is what I told you years ago. I said, well, I think they'll remake it because they could make the graphics better. But they don't. They try and make it modern and make it fit to these. Because I'm sorry, they try to make it
relevant to today's society.
Yeah, and it's just they don't do nearly as good of a job.
Well, without getting into politics, a lot of things about today's society suck.
But yeah, a lot. We mean a lot. Everything.
I'm just saying a lot. So they're going to redo War Games. And do you remember the movie Time Bandits?
Oh, it sounds really familiar.
There was like little midgets, little people. I think I just offended people. I don't care. Little people on this. There was a spaceship, a time spaceship that looked like an old galleon.
Well, I'm reading the next page here.
Oh. But they're remaking that. Like, I remember that movie. I love that. That movie would be on the same time every year when they had sweeps, and they'd have what was the Snake Plissken movie?
Oh,
New York. Escape from New York, Escape from L.A.
Yeah.
So they'd play Escape from New York. They'd play Time Bandits, and there was a couple other movies that they always played during those sweeps.
RoboCop.
Yep.
Yeah, they remade that one, didn't they?
Like 3 times.
Yeah.
So they want to redo Commando with Schwarzenegger. Remember when I said kill you last?
Yeah,
I lied.
Stick it. No, that was that Commando? Stick around. Let off some steam. And then when they made fun of it, I was watching.
He thought he could fly.
I was watching those things where they have an actual guy, like a military guy, who's reviewing that movie. He reviewed Commando, and it was the one part where he has that 4 rocket launcher thing, and he's shooting. He goes, "You realize
you couldn't lift it?"
Well, not only that, he goes, "You realize he's handheld firing a nuclear weapon?" He goes, "Yeah, that would never happen. That's supposed to be on the back of a truck or some shit."
Oh, they want to redo the Creature from the Black Lagoon.
Never saw it, but
you never saw that?
No.
Oh, we did talk about that during the horror movie thing.
Yeah.
I can't believe Escape from New York is on the list of ever made.
Yeah. Heavy Metal, Highlander. Come on, really? Well, I remember Highlander the series.
Little Shop of Horrors. My Fair Lady. It's a classic movie.
Oh, do not. Scarface.
Yep.
Come on. Do not ruin Scarface.
Short Circuit.
Johnny
Five is still alive. Flight of the Navigator. Weird Science. Toxic Avenger. Now they're going to get into some horror movies that I want, like the 80s horror movies. Toxic Avenger was one that I saw that I loved.
All right, so Van Helsing. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
You did.
But Van Helsing, well, hold on, let me back up here. Toxic Avengers, let it be a 1984 movie. Just stop.
Yeah.
That's our shit. What? You got zombies now.
Toxic Avengers sucked.
I know.
But I loved it.
Yes.
I loved that B movie.
Don't try and make it more than what it is. Leave it a 1984 fucking movie.
You see the next one?
Hold on, I want to hit Van Helsing next. So the one with fuck is his name? He played Wolverine, the new one, and it's all high tech. Oh, yeah, this high tech gear. I hate those movies. I don't like them. Yeah, they're fun, but when I think about it, I'm like, I'm not drinking the Kool-Aid. What the hell's his name? Hugh Jackman.
Jack Human.
Jack Human. He smelled awful.
He smelled like cumin.
He smelled like garam masala. He stunk of curry. Anyways, but yeah, I remember some people love those movies. They're so fun and blah 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 blah. Okay, yeah, it's he always wins.
But you can't write another story, even if it's similar to that, and just...
I don't like the mix of the sci-fi, gadgety.
I do.
Yeah, but it's cheesy, man. I thought Van Helsing was cheesy as shit. Anyways, I'm starting to go fucking flat Earth on this motherfucker.
I'm telling you, it's the more you think about it, the more remakes suck. They're going to make an Expendables with an all-female crew. Now, if they do that, like an Expendables 4, and do it as if...
But then really, now, aren't you thinking it's more about tits and ass?
Okay, I'm okay with that.
I am too, but where's
listen,
your sexist people now?
Are they going to make it as if the other ones never happened? That's what'll piss me off.
Probably. Or they might give a little ode to it.
No, you have to follow the storyline.
Well, apparently they don't.
Bloodsport.
Oh, man, I love that. Apparently, I found out today that Jean-Claude Van Damme had a huge coke problem back in the day.
Oh yeah.
I never knew that. They were making fun of him because he played an all-American guy in what the
An
fuck?
all-American guy who couldn't speak English.
Yes, that's what they said. He never tried to like work on his accent, so he's this all-American guy with a Belgian accent and a coke problem. And then he was cheating on his wife, or he had a love affair with I don't know. It was
A
funny
dude?
as shit. Yeah, a dude.
So
A
Logan's
love
Run,
affair with a fleshlight.
Logan's Run, Mortal Kombat, Police Academy.
Oh, stop! How? No, because here's how they ruin it. I forget who's the guy that did all the voice.
Yeah, I forget his name.
They're gonna fuck that up.
Oh yeah,
they're gonna fuck that. You cannot. You cannot redo that comedy.
So Tomb Raider was done already 4 times. Time Cop was done 3 times.
How about Mortal Kombat? I saw the trailers out for that. Nah, I didn't really care for it.
Cliffhanger.
Like seriously, you couldn't think of anything other to rip off the
That-
cliffhanger?
This one here, I'm kind of interested in.
I don't know what that is.
You don't know what Voltron is?
No,
You don't remember the cartoon Voltron?
I was born a year before that. So
Yeah, but my brother knew what Voltron was.
I don't know, man. I didn't have
They were-
cable.
They were Voltron was it 5 tiger robots that would have a human in them, and then they combined to make the big Voltron.
Yeah, if you asked me like 35 years ago,
I love Voltron.
I might remember.
I love Voltron. Anyways, in 1984
so-
cartoon, they want to make a live action version of that, and they've been talking about that for a while. This one here pisses me off. Chopping Mall.
Never saw it.
It's one of my favorite 80s B horror flicks.
Okay.
We had we had it on VHS. Me and my buddy Rob, and we used to when at one point it's security robots take over a mall, and they start
Okay.
killing people. So at one point, the security robot sees someone, takes a laser, and lasers them like right in the head, and their head explodes. And we're step by stepping the slow mo, so we could see when they switch the body for the dummy. And it's like very obvious when you do it with VHS. And like it took us hours just to get to the right frame.
Right, yeah. Shit, rewind it. No, you went like 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Stop it.
Yeah, that's what we did that. But Chopping Mall, Firestarter, Hellraiser. They want to redo Hellraiser. Are they going to redo as if it never happened, or is it going to be a continuation?
Where are they going to take off from the 7th Hellraiser, or
The Legend of Conan, which has been done at least twice. Private Benjamin.
Spawn, Wicked, I Am
Well,
Legend?
Wicked was a Broadway show. I say leave it a Broadway show. I Am Legend. I just watched this the other day. Why would you even do that movie? It's not even that old.
No.
Nightmare on Elm Street. They want to redo that one.
Why? Yeah. Well, okay. So why go back to I Am Legend? Why remake that? It's a post-apocalyptic story. Like you could make it your own,
Right.
your own twist. Like you have no vision. Like make it your own.
Here's the thing.
Seriously.
If they make a post-apocalyptic film, I'm gonna go see it. I love those.
Yeah, I do too. But I don't
Mad
want
Max,
I don't want the
like,
same garbage.
Like when they remade Mad Max. Why?
Yeah, I don't. I did not like the Mad Max remake. I didn't even watch the whole thing. I turned it off. I thought it was stupid.
I watched it and I enjoyed it, but it was not. It could have been its own movie. It didn't have to be Mad Max.
Oh shit. Okay, so here's one for you. I thought they put a good twist on it. What the fuck was the name of it? It was a post-apocalyptic movie, but there was 2 factions. There was like the punks, and like they lived. They were eating people and shit, and then the other faction was they lived like they did back in not colonial times, but like
Is that movie you told me to watch?
No, they had.
It was really bad.
There was a king. There was horses, and it was a British movie, but it was really fucking good.
Monty Python.
That's what it was. It was Monty Python is very good, but no, Scotland was the no man's land. So these cops and shit, or the SWAT team went up and they got stuck up there, and I think a couple of them got kidnapped. And it's a really, really good post-apocalyptic movie.
Well, the show that was on.
We'll look it up after we're done here.
It was the show that was on. I forget what channel it was on. Into the Badlands.
Yes,
I loved it.
Yeah.
The only thing that didn't make sense about that movie was they outlawed guns. So there was no guns.
Like you couldn't make a gun,
but you could cut anybody up with a sword. Yeah. That was fine. But you couldn't shoot nobody.
Yeah. No, I am an outlaw. I can't have a gun. They're outlawed.
Yeah. If you're just outlawed, they won't have them.
Yeah. So maybe, maybe that was a little nudge towards the fucking what our fucking Democrats think.
What?
I gotta piss, bro. Hold on.
Are you shitting me?
No, I'm not. You know I have a girl bladder.
Well, now I'm gonna do a commercial in here or something.
All right,
go ahead.
Do what you do.
So, take a second, subscribe, hit the thumbs up. If you want to hit the notification bell, you go ahead and do that. If not, I'm okay with that. But if you subscribe and hit the thumbs up, that helps us out a lot. If you're listening to us on iTunes, give us a like and leave a review. If you think we suck, tell us we suck, but make it a 5-star you suck. Because that's the only thing that helps. And welcome back. Here we are once again. So we were talking about this next movie. That why remake it? Big Trouble in Little China.
I don't even stop.
Like, dude, it's a good. It wasn't a great movie.
No,
but it was a good movie to watch.
It was
entertaining.
Cheesy, very entertaining.
Yeah, entertaining. So why redo it? Because you can make it more relevant.
Yeah, we can make the electricity from the guy seem more real. Well, no, we don't care.
No, the part of it that made it great was it looked so fake.
Yeah, we get the concept. All right?
Charlie's Angels. Here's another one that really pisses me off. Charlie's Angels was a series from 1976 to 1981.
Yeah.
They did a movie in 2000. Did another movie in 2003. Made another TV series in 2011 that lasted 1 year.
Yeah.
2019, 2020, they're doing it again.
Let's just keep taking from that jar.
Yeah.
Let's just keep until it's empty, and then everybody fucking hates it.
This one, Fantastic Voyage, I'm pretty sure, if I remember what this movie was correctly, this was a claymation film where they had the monsters. The monsters were all claymation monsters. You ever see that?
Yes.
I'm going to look it up quick because I think that's the movie that it was. And I love that movie. But it doesn't need to be like anything other than that. It doesn't need to be high graphics and... Oh, no! This is the one where they shrunk them down and that was even better! That's the one where they shrunk them down and injected them into someone to do some kind of internal surgery. They shrunk a whole spaceship down.
Well, then they redid that in the 80s. Steve Martin and the other guys.
Yes, they did. You're right.
They shrunk him. They shrunk him down and set him in his body.
You're right. So it's already been redone once. I always remember the 1966 version.
They didn't call it Fantastic Voyage.
What was it called?
I have no idea. It wasn't Steve Martin. It was Martin Short. And... Oh, fucker. I don't remember the other guy's name. He's a very famous actor. He's that crazy guy who played in the Christmas Chevy Chase. He was crazy Cousin Eddie.
Oh.
It's his brother.
Okay.
Because his brother's not crazy, and then so it was him. He was the guy who was in the
Shitter's fault.
Yeah. Merry Christmas, Shitter's fault.
So, redoing Flash Gordon. Originally done in 1939, 1940. They made a TV series in the 50s, another TV series in the 70s, which I remember, and in the 80s, and so on. And they redid it so many times.
Yeah.
Like, why? Like, I don't know. The Fugitive, the movie, that's been done at least 3 times.
Wait, the Grudge. I never liked the Grudge.
I wasn't a big fan. They could redo that one. I'm not gonna watch it anyway.
No, I wouldn't.
Invisible Man, League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
I hated that movie.
Hated it. Not a good movie. I did find it slightly entertaining, but it was not a good movie.
Actually, I drank a 40 before I went to go see that movie in the theaters. And I had to get up like 5 times to take a piss.
That's odd.
And I thought it was the dumbest fucking movie ever. I hate all that. Like, what was that movie where they were bending the bullets? They were.
Was that Salt?
No. And I was like, just the concept of that pisses me off, and I don't want to watch your stupid movie.
Right. It works.
Yeah, okay. Maybe if we lived on a flat Earth.
Murder in the Orient Express. It's been done 6 times.
That's been done on a book like 5 times before that.
Yeah. And that's not even all of them from the list for that 2 years. 3 years.
I keep rubbing this fucking thing the wrong way. It's annoying me. I hear it rubbing on my zipper.
So then I went down and I looked at all these other movies that have been remade multiple times. A Star is Born, I don't think I've ever seen it. Judy Garland movie, originally 1937. Redone in 1954, 1976, and 2018.
Yeah, that's the one with Lady Gaga and the dude that played the sniper.
Yeah, I'm not interested. Oliver Twist. 5 times they redid that movie since 1909. Its original in 1909.
Yeah, The Great Gatsby. That was one with Leo.
Redone 4 times. Jungle Book. Premiered 1942. And what is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? 5 remakes? Now, Jane Eyre has been redone, but it wasn't always as Jane Eyre, I don't think. 1943 is when it was done the first time. 70, 83, 96, and 2011. Great Expectations? Look how many times that's been redone.
Like
3, 6,
7?
9, 10. 10 times?
Was it Mary Poppins was redone?
Yeah.
What was the one?
Robin Hood was redone 5 times, and that doesn't include Robin Hood Men in Tights.
I love that fucking movie.
That stands on its own, because it's a comedy. It's a comedy.
Master Robin, you've lost your arms in battle, but you've got a nice set of boobs. He's hugging the freaking statue. Blinken was on the shitter. Blinken. Yeah, Little John. He fell into that little stream. He's like, help me! I can't swim.
Just stand up.
He's like, oh.
Yeah, that was good. Treasure Island.
Oh yeah, I remember my favorite Treasure Island was the one with damn it, Charles Heston and the guy who played Batman, Christian Bale. Yeah, Christian Bale was like.
Oh, that must be the 1990 version.
No, that was I think that was the 78 version.
Christian Bale.
Christian Bale. He was like.
Oh, he's a child actor.
Yeah.
Okay.
But we watched it in school for like, I think it was 2 days we watched it, and I loved it. I don't know, I loved it.
3 Musketeers, like 15 times. Not 15. 1, 2, 3, 4. 8 times.
What's the other one? The three amigos.
that was only done once though.
Yeah. It's like, why would you do the Three Amigos? You're never gonna get those high caliber, funny ass actors again together in a trio like that.
That was comedic genius.
Yeah,
that was Martin Short too.
Martin Short,
Steve
Martin, and Chevy Chase.
Chevy Chase, yeah. How many adaptations of Frankenstein have there been? Here's the list, dude. This is the list. Watch.
So it's like 4 pages long.
No. 5 pages long.
Yeah. Jesus Christ.
Like 5 pages. Now, some of them are animated, and some of them are like I, Frankenstein, I think was a different take on it. But it was still just a twist on another original concept. Hotel Transylvania. Frankenstein's Army was good. That was a war movie. That wasn't really a Frankenstein movie.
I think we just need more vision, more imagination out of Hollywood.
King Kong.
I am not interested in the new King Kong movie.
Not only is there one planned for this year, there's one planned for next year and 2 years after.
Don't care. Won't see it.
And
Brewster's Millions?
Yeah. And I didn't really realize that was a remake.
Yeah, I thought that the 80s one was the original.
So, that
was... okay, so that's maybe the one I could stand.
Yeah.
You got Richard Pryor and... fuck. Come on.
Rodney Dangerfield.
No.
Was it Rodney Dangerfield in that?
Was he? I thought it was Richard Pryor.
It's Richard Pryor.
And he had to spend $1 million in...
Well, here's the thing.
Like a month or something
in 1914, when it was originally done, he had to spend $1 million to inherit $7 million. Right. In 1985, that version that you're talking about, he had to spend $30 million to inherit $300 million.
Right. It was damn it, the guy from Young Frankenstein.
Oh,
Gene Wilder.
Gene Wilder.
I mean, those two.
Yeah.
You could
stir crazy.
Yeah, you put those two in any movie, you got a classic. So, I wonder what they thought back then too. Like, if somebody's sitting, street right there. So, somebody in 1945 was like, this movie's already been made like 4 times before. Yeah, like
1914, 1921, 1926, 1935, 1945, 1961, and 1985.
Maybe it's because, like, if that was the era I grew up in, the 80s and early 90s. So I see Richard Pryor and Gene Wilder. It's like, it don't get any better than that.
Right.
So then maybe like 20 years down the road, people don't understand their comedy and they're like, oh, well, these two popular people are who I grew up with.
Right.
And does that kind of make sense?
It does and it doesn't. But, because you make a movie and use those two people and give them some original stuff.
Yeah.
Here's one that A Christmas Carol and Scrooge is my favorite Christmas Carol adaptation.
Is that the one with
Bill Murray?
Bill Murray, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely my favorite. But it started in a 1901 silent film, Scrooge, or Marley's Ghost, it was called. And it's been remade over 20 times.
Wow. I think that's the highest one yet.
Dracula is another one that had pages and pages and pages of remakes. And now, Nosferatu was the first unofficial, unauthorized adaptation of Bram Stoker's Dracula. That was 1922, a silent film.
Yeah.
And the original Bram Stoker's authorized adaptation was 1931. And they said there's over 60.
Jesus Christ.
They ranked the worst 60.
So there's more than that?
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, like, I know,
okay, we get it. There's some that
I know the government and Hollywood listens to this podcast because
yes,
we see it all the time. We mention something on the podcast. 3 days later, it's in the news. I know we're being trapped.
Men in black suits showed up to Mike's house last night.
But so Hollywood, please, for the love of God, make something original. If you need a writer, I'll throw my hat in the ring.
Yeah, I'll give you a go.
I've written some stuff. It's not great stuff, but maybe someone could take my crap and make it gold.
Yeah. Now, we're not saying is that comedies are different.
Spoofs and comedies,
but no,
branch out.
Well,
you can over spoof a movie too.
Let me go back. I want to restate that. I think it would piss me off, like if you remade like Uncle Buck.
Right.
Or Caddyshack.
Oh, you can't remake Caddyshack. They did remake Caddyshack, didn't they?
It wouldn't surprise me.
I think they did remake that.
Come on. Rodney Dangerfield, Bill Murray, Chevy Chase. Oh, just like the zingers and shit. I mean, that's before everybody got offended, too. Oh, you probably can't even say half the shit they said back then.
No,
today.
I guess they didn't. Good on them. Yeah.
There's so maybe but still, I think comedy's different because
why redo Big Trouble in Little China?
Right. Yeah.
Because that was a comedy.
Yes, absolutely.
It was considered a horror comedy, sci-fi film.
Yeah. Yeah. I just let it be what it is. Stop ruining our fucking childhood, you bastards.
Yeah, we only have so much of our childhood left. Like, you know.
And then
suck the brains of the kids today. They got nothing left.
100 years from now, people are gonna look at like some asshole in Big Trouble in Little China who wasn't Kurt Russell and wasn't the original,
right?
And they're never gonna know.
Maybe Kurt Russell's gonna do it. But this goes back to our original discussion that we had years ago. I hate remakes.
And I'm right there with you now. I didn't because I didn't understand it because I was just a young buck.
But like the movies you're saying, you remember, like one of my not first favorite horror, but one of my most impressive horror movies was Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Yeah.
When they redid it, I still have not seen the remake.
Don't waste your time. You're going to be disappointed.
Have not seen it.
Yeah. I'll tell you firsthand experience. You'll be disappointed. Although, I did like the one that R. Lee Ermey was in. I did like the Michael Myers remakes, Halloween, with Rob Zombie.
Do you know why I didn't like them?
And it probably should piss me off, but I kind of wanted more. Like, I want more Jason.
There's no continuity in those movies.
Yeah.
Like, even in the Jason series, there was continuity in some of them, and then there wasn't, and then there was. Same thing with Halloween. Halloween, there was, then it wasn't, then it was, then it wasn't, then it was. And, like, just, if you're gonna...
It's almost like he branched out, and the old Jason doesn't exist.
Right, and
this
sucks.
is a new Jason.
You mean Michael?
Yeah, I'm sorry, Michael, and a whole different concept.
Right.
But what I enjoyed out of that was maybe not make him Michael, maybe make it something else. And it was
make it a killer.
Like, it was creepy, just like the way they did it. It was creepy, but maybe not label it as
maybe not make
Halloween.
Maybe make a standalone film of a killer, but then you got to come up with a backstory. And this goes back to our X-Men.
Yeah.
Our X-Men episode, where when they created the X-Men, they did it lazily. All of them were mutants.
right.
So their backstories are all different, but where they got their powers is all the same. Same thing when they're writing those movies. Well, they don't have to write the backstory. You know the backstory.
Yeah.
If they're writing a Jason film, you know the backstory. If you're writing a Michael Myers film, you're writing you know the backstory. And even if you reboot it and make it its own film, and you change the backstory, you still know pretty much where it started.
Right.
And I think it's just a lazy way to make movies, and that's all Hollywood is anymore. It's just lazy.
Lazy writers.
Lazy writers, lazy actors.
So prove us wrong.
Yeah. And if you know a movie...
Like, I'm looking at your screen right now. I know you said you wanted to... I don't know how I feel. Like the Black Panther movie, the Falcon and the Winter Soldier, but
they're expanding that storyline, and yes, it's still Avengers.
I don't know. I never really got into that type of movie where.
See, I did. I've always.
So you see, like,
I'm a comic book junkie, so
maybe it's different. Like Iron Man, like it's like, okay, like, yay, you got a suit, you're gonna blow shit up, you're gonna be the hero, you're gonna kill the thing, and
Iron Man was never my favorite. I do like the way Robert Downey Jr. does him.
I agree. Like he's a good actor. There was some comedic parts in there.
But like,
but it's just not my
Spider-Man.
like,
Why do they keep redoing Spider-Man?
I don't know.
And they do it like the first movies never existed.
Like I'm here with like
expand the
the
story.
majority of movies, and I want to be like wowed every once in a while. I want to be like put over. So that's why I started like watching like the one I can't remember the name of, Pan's Labyrinth. Hands down, Guillermo del Toro did a fantastic
It was
job
not
with
Guillermo
that.
del Toro.
Yes, it was.
That's not who it is.
Yes,
Isn't that the actor?
that's Benicio del Toro.
Oh, okay.
Guillermo del Toro.
Is that who it was?
How dare you question me?
But, dude, the first time you told me about the movie, you didn't know who did it, what it was about,
Well, now I'm an expert.
where it was filmed.
Like hands down, like great fucking. I forget, was that subtitled? The whole thing?
Yes.
And I hate subtitled movies.
That's not Guillermo del Toro. Yes, it is.
Yeah, you dick.
Okay.
Yeah. Suck a bag of dicks, you bastard.
Wow, a whole bag?
Yes.
Is it a Costco-sized bag?
Yes, industrial. Like fantastic. It was just different, you know? And so I kind of want more shit like that. And I watched the Babadook. I know some people didn't like that. I like that movie. So I've kind of been branching out, like watching other movies that aren't American. Like some British movies are a little like just kind of lame.
Well, they have censorship and shit over there. So
there was the one.
I noticed that there's a lot of and I hate giving any kind of props to China because you know it's China. But they have been doing a lot of things co-producing with American filmmakers.
Really?
Yeah. Silk Road was one.
Okay. I don't think has there ever been a movie they made about the Silk Road?
Yes. But not the Silk Road, the Deep Web. The Silk Road.
The actual Silk Road.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
I watched the other day.
It was what's his face was in it.
Bruce Lee.
Jackie Chan.
I watched a movie a couple weeks ago. I think it was Japanese, and it wasn't subtitled. It was all in Japanese, and I watched the whole thing. And you get the gist of it.
That's not it.
It was about there was a some kind of flu that broke out from these illegal immigrants or people they kidnapped, brought into the country. When they got sick, and then all spread, and then everybody started dying off. But it's shit like that. It's like what's going to happen, even though it was no English or subtitles. I was like, I've seen this like a million times. Not wooed. But I have nothing else better to do than sit here and watch a fucking movie that's not even in my own language.
I can't find the movie.
What were you looking for?
The one about the Silk Road.
I don't know. So,
is that it?
Dragon Blades.
I guess so.
Jackie Chan sings Desert Hero at the Silk Road Film Festival. Silk Road 2015 by Jackie Chan.
Yeah, that's it. Dragon Blade. Anyway, so I think we've thoroughly beat the crap out of Hollywood and the shit that they're putting out.
Yeah, come on. We're Americans. We've been stuck inside for 2 fucking years because of this goddamn pandemic. Do something that's going to blow us away.
With a story.
Yeah, something original.
Something we can't figure out in the first 5 minutes.
Man, we know Michael Myers. We know Jason. We know Freddy. Make a new fucking horror film for these people growing up now, like my daughter. All the other fucking kids out there.
Even my son. My son's at the age when like he's 18. At his age, I was force feeding myself horror films.
Yeah.
Because they were everywhere. You know, give these kids something, and it doesn't have to be blood and guts. It just has to be done well. Yep. Anyhow,
throw some humor in there.
So if there's a movie that was remade that you hate,
please
email
let us know.
takeontheworld411@gmail.com. Let us know what that movie is. What is the worst, most egregious film remake out there? And if we actually get an email, I'll read it on there. So, until then, we're going to wrap this up and say Hollywood sucks really bad, and you go take on the world. Hold on, stop.
Welcome back to the Shit Show 2.0.
Okay, Boomer.
Damn millennials. Wow.
Did not know that. Even flirters who are obviously mentally ill.
Oh, this is going to go downhill real quick.